Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and today I'm going to show you this beauty. So this is another long slim journal. Well, not so slim as you are going to see. Her name is English Rose and it all started with a wonderful brocade fabric which I was recently buying, and I got so inspired by it that I made this journal, and my initial idea was actually to do a trilogy of 3 different journals, all using this wonderful fabric but in different sizes. So I started with this one, and let's just talk about it because I can't wait. So first, the cover. Let me take this off. Here you have the first view on this wonderful brocade. It's so pretty. It has this green and old gold tones, and it really looks pretty. And also on the back side, what you can see is this wonderful fabric. Well, it's pretty, but I couldn't help it. I had to add a doily. And I turned this doily, which is also a vintage doily, of course, I turned it into a pocket. So you have the possibility, like I did here, to add something, to put something inside, as well as on the back side. What I had put in is this kind of a journaling card, but as I couldn't help it, I had to decorate it on the back side with lace. You really cannot use it for writing, but it can be a bookmark or it can be just decoration. And on the back side, I have added some old vintage or even antique book paper. This one is from 1855, and this is an old drawing, all original. So, well, I have further decorated, of course, as those of you who know me know that I love to decorate, and I love my ruffles, I love my laces, all of that. So I added some trim on the upper side of this cover. I added some vintage, really pretty vintage lace on the back side. Then I added 3 layers of lace. This one, which is also vintage. This one, which is really pretty. It's a shame to cover it a little bit, but you can still peek through it and you can see the beauty of it. And this one, which was a gift from my friend May. And so you have these 3 layers. And then I found in my stash, I found this wonderful dark red satin, which I turned into a ruffle, and I added vintage buttons to it. Different ones, all in gold. I think it's really, really pretty. I love it. And this one even has a little lion on the top. So, but let's open the beauty. Before the dimensions. So she has she measures 26 centimeters, 12 centimeters. In inches, 10 1/4, 4 3/4. She comes with 1 signature, and she has more than 100 pages front and back. So when you look here, you see that I have 2 bows, and this has a reason, because I have added the bows in different orientations. So this one is not directly opposite of each other. It's more like this kind of a direction, and the other one is just the typical way. So you can now either close it like this, like I did with 2 bows, or you can just make 1 bow with the 2 trims. And when I say you, then this means this one is available in my Etsy shop. So let's open her up. Here you have another nice view on this really, really spectacular lace. And I have used some design paper to cover the inside in this pretty rose motifs. I have added a belly band where I have covered some paper with some lace, and I have behind this belly band I have added one of my self-created tags, which is a collage from different material, and then I sprayed it with different colors, and I waxed it, so it's nice, I think, and it's quite, yeah, it's quite big, and therefore it gives some good start into this journal. Now we come to the first page, and also here I couldn't help it, and I used a lot of lace. I used this pretty red Indian trim, which perfectly matches the colors of this marvelous page. And I have to admit, I have been inspired by Glam Junk Journals by Pam. She used this design paper or this digital kit in one of her journals, and I thought this is exactly what I need, and therefore I went on Etsy and I bought it, and this is what you will see amongst others as usual in this journal. Now turning this one here. This is a flip out pocket, and behind it or inside it I have added another of these pretty bookmarks, whatever this is. I love it. I have used it already in other journals, and I'm going to use them in further ones as well. So this is some old, not original old, but looks like old paper or letter. And then we come to the first decorative page. Also I have added some lace. This is wonderful design paper. I think it comes from Anton. I've done some stamping here. Throughout this journal I have used a lot of dyed paper, and when I say dyed paper, then I do it typically in various steps. When I coffee dye it, so I bathe it in coffee, then I let it dry, then I spray it again. Then sometimes I use some gilding speckles or some brush speckles, which gives another nice effect. And because I loved that so much this time, I have almost all of the pages have been modified in that way. So here there is another pocket, a small pocket, and behind it there are 3 journaling cards, all sewn around, and here also some lace. This is a little pocket or belly band, if you want, made from vellum paper, and behind it there is some nice decorative paper for further use or just to keep it as some decoration. Again, some coffee dyed paper. This is light stenciling. And here this is also, I think, a very, very pretty paper, because it features these let's say old-fashioned and very opulent designs. Here you see the roses, where I have added some pretty lace. And here you see some flip outs with pretty motifs. Have a look. And behind it there is some design paper. It's really nice. And inside the flip outs there are some journaling cards or tags. And here as well. And this lace, which I have used here, this pretty lace, forms a side pocket on the back side, and inside this side pocket there is a longer journaling card. And the funny thing is, you look at this violet, this light purple, and look at this flower, which comes from some eco-dyed paper on the opposite side. I think it's the perfect match. So here I have added another decorative paper, as I said, for further use or just for decoration. Also in this featuring some roses, and therefore the name English Rose for this journal had, that's the reason why I have given it this name. Here I have used some cotton lace in this pinkish, reddish tone. I love it. It's so nice. And on the back side, 3 pockets. Little ones, 2 little ones for little journaling cards, and a bigger one for a longer journaling card, and a smaller one. And then what I also did, I have done some fabric collaging, and I've sewn on a strip of these satin, which I've used to decorate the front side. I have sewn different pieces of fabric, and it really made such a nice effect, and therefore I decorated this page with it. It's really nice. And on the back side I did some stenciling in pink and green, and I further secured the page with some washi tape. Some coffee dyed paper with some cotton lace on the back side, and when you turn that, then what you see here, it looks like this. On this side you see some coloring paper, which I have coffee dyed. Here you see a kind of a flip out, and when you flip it out, then this is a copy of an old collector's album. It says Blumen und Blütenträume in German, and it says in English flowers and dreams of petals, something like this. And there you see some different pictures of different flowers, tulips, iris, some others. And you see this ruffle here. I have turned this into a pocket, and when you tear on this ruffle, then you see the picture of a Victorian lady. And I thought maybe this is the lady who belongs, or whose journal this is, and you will also see some other pictures of her throughout the journey that we are undertaking now. As I said, coloring paper, also coffee dyed, in order to give this also this nice sound. A doily, which I have, as I mentioned before, coffee dyed and color dyed with some gold speckles as well. Some smaller piece of paper, coffee dyed as well. Here's some lace again, sewn on. So most of the pages where I have used lace, I have sewn it on. Another spectacular page, I think. You see English roses, really old-fashioned English roses. They smell marvelously. So this doesn't smell, but you know, English roses have a wonderful smell. And here you see some design paper. Here I have added some lace, and inside there are 2 journaling cards. This one I have made using my self-created tags, and I've sewn on a picture of or a drawing of a flower. I think it's a peony. Again, lace, stenciled paper, some fine lace with a nice decor. And when you flip it up, then you see this is a picture of Victorian ladies, and this is a copy of a fashion journal from 1890, something like this. And I have further aged it by distressing the edges. And here, look at this piece of paper. This is what I said before. This is what I love when I do this double approach with coffee dyeing and watering it again in a second step and adding some other colors to it. So I put this back. I have attached it with a paper clip, and then it's secure and you can flip it down. It looks nice from this side as well. And here another nice paper, very pretty. I did some stamping. I have some coffee dyed paper. From those of you who have seen some of my other videos know who has done this coffee dyeing and stenciling. So this was May from Saudi Arabia. Again, paper which I dyed. Love it. This is an envelope which I have further decorated with some lace. And of course this envelope can carry something, and inside there is a small journaling card with some English roses. Some lace. When you turn that, then this is a big English rose in yellow, and it's vellum, and you can flip it up, and behind it There you see there is a belly band, and inside this belly band there is another tag. So let's turn that. Here I made some stamping of a Victorian lady. Again, coffee dyed paper. Side pocket, which I have torn and distressed in order to give it this more impressive appearance. And behind it there is another journaling card with these wonderful roses in blue and pink. Some old book paper, and this is of course in German, and this one is about, there are some poems on, and this one says Liebesglück, so happy love. So this is May's creation, May's stenciling, and when you open that, then you see a wonderful view on a mansion. And I thought probably the lady who is the owner, in my thought, who is the owner of this journal, lives in this mansion. And here she is. That's her. And this is when she goes to a ball. Isn't this nice? So put them both back. So I made some stamping with a crown. Here I have used this, now I have forgotten the name, this Japanese approach to mend broken china. And I've seen it in some of the videos where some other junk journal enthusiasts have used this approach to create this effect. And I did the same because this was torn by, not deliberately, so by, it was a mistake that it was torn. And I thought maybe I can mend it and maybe I can use this approach. So I added some acrylic paste on it. And it looks nice, and I turned it into a pocket, and behind it there is the picture of a bird. And here's some stamping. Look at the paper again. And here there is some Victorian picture and another smaller journaling card. This is the envelope which you have seen before, and behind it there is also some journaling card with some roses. This tag is glued on just for decoration purposes, and it nicely fits between those two stamps which I made. Here in this green page, what you see is another of these bookmarks, which I have also further decorated by adding some gold wax. I love it. And here some lace, some vintage lace and some newer lace. Again, this paper stenciling. Here is another stamping which I did on some coffee dyed paper. It shows again a Victorian lady. This is this pretty paper with this wonderful English roses. And here I've made a belly band formed out of different circles. And they are all from Anton, from his journaling kit. And behind it there is another view on the mansion where this lady lives. This is what I thought. Okay, another picture of English roses, and behind it I turned it into a pocket, and behind it there is one of my self-created tags, which I do by decoupaging napkins and adding some glitter. Here I've used some green glitter and blue glitter to put further interest to it. And this is some doily. This is the coloring paper which you've seen before. This is decorated coffee dyed paper with some lace. Here I have added some longer journaling card, also backed with one of my, I think, quite spectacular dyed paper in this transparent pocket. This is stenciling. This is the nice paper again. Another crown. Paper which is neither coffee dyed nor color dyed, nothing. So this is really naked paper, if you want to say that. This is another flip out. And the flip out on the back side has been formed by vellum paper, and inside there is another journaling card with a Victorian motif. And behind it there is a small pocket, and behind it there is another journaling card, which I have created by adding 2 journaling cards together, adding some sari silk and some lace. This is another mansion, and this mansion also has been turned into a pocket, and behind it there is a tiny, tiny, tiny self-created tag. And I love this trim, so it has this gold brown color, which perfectly matches the wonderful fabric which I've used to make the cover. This is this pretty paper with this English rose. This is this pretty lace which I've used, this pink red colored lace. You see on the back side this light stenciling, coffee dyed paper, another Victorian lady stamped on, spectacular, I think, spectacular colored or dyed paper with some lace to decorate. So I didn't do anything on it. I was hesitant on some of the pages to add something because I found the coloring so nice, and it also allows, of course, for the future owner to write. So there is a lot of room for writing or further decorating, so it's not as overstaffed as typical. So this is the last page. There is another lace. I've added some lace also here, and this is the view on the inside cover. And this was it. So this was English Rose. I hope you liked it. And for those who don't like or who are not so much into these long journals, I'm currently working on a journal in this style as well, because, as I said, I was so fond of this fabric, which will be probably quite overstaffed, and it will be in the usual size. And then I'm planning also to do a smaller little journal with this fabric, but let's see. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a very nice day. And this was Martina. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.